Hello everyone, this is Fanny Menardi from Pachamama Art. This is a special video to wish you guys a Happy New Year 2026. This is also a video regarding my applications to the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations, to UNESCO, and to the President of the United States, President Trump, Elon Musk, the FBI, all the people who have been following all year and raised interest in my project. So as you can see, my house is empty. I feel like it's really great to be great and confident when you have a room, an auditorium full of people. But would you continue when you lose everything? Would you risk everything to the last cent, for your passion, for the organizations that you support? This is really what I've been doing for the past 10 years here in America. I started promoting my art and seeing all the magic that was unleashing from it and all the network, how we connected. It was so beautiful. The mentors, actually, looking back at my videos, at how I was when I got to America, I was amazing. I was such a beautiful girl, full of life and success behind me, and I had everything. And as soon as those people came into my life to try to teach me to be better, it was just worse and worse. And I feel like I was trying to empower them because I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be successful like them. I wanted to be confident like them. I wanted to help people like them, but by them always trying to tell me to do better. Oh, you have to do better. You have to do that better. You have to do that better. And it's not good enough. It's not good enough. In fact, they robbed all my confidence and made me believe that I wasn't enough and that I needed them. And I empowered them, and I was seeing only the best in them. And I realized I was doing them a favor. I was empowering them, not the other way around, until they took everything from me. I lost everything. So I'm very happy that this is over. I'm very happy that the United States chapter, or at least this chapter where I've been censored, I've been treated like shit, straight garbage, left out the door, as if I was not important, as if I did not exist, when I was providing amazing content for many years that did unleash some crazy kind of magic that everybody loved, everybody wanted. But when it was part to step up for me, nobody did it, and this is why I've been always preaching for a circular economy and not really relying on the governments, because the governments, they have a lot to take care about, and I'm not against Donald Trump. I really mean it. When I nominated him for the Nobel Prize, I really feel like he is trying to reach peace in the world. He's making tremendous efforts. Then is he always right? I think it's a mistake to be so tight, close to Israel. I think they are killing people. I'm all about counterterrorism. However, you can't forget that there are kids and families in the middle, that you have to eliminate people on a case-by-case basis. You can't just kill millions of people just under the pretext that you're eradicating terrorism. Little kids that are just born are allowed to have a chance as life. However, I'm very grateful to them for being open to the dialogue. Everything that is not politically correct that I say, that I post or write, that people pretend to be offended, is actually questions that they are asking themselves. They are questions they don't dare to ask. They are statements that they don't dare to make. I'm all about counterterrorism. I'm all about protecting people from genocide. However, if we don't talk about it, if we don't try to view the two perspectives, we're never going to advance the laws, we're never going to bring justice. So I'm not sorry for anything, and all this work I've provided for the United Nations, for my environmental plan, my peace plan, my art collection, all my free content and conferences online that I kept doing even though I had 2 views on each videos. I kept doing this because I believed so much that the gods were with me and the Pandora box wanted to be open, the knowledge wanted to be out. But they kept tapping that box and tapping that box and tapping that box. And what happened? The box exploded. And then they blamed it on me. Yes, I'm grateful to the Russians because they went on the war against censorship. I'm sorry, you can't just sit there and smile when you have tons of single moms, of artists that are not listened to. So yes, I'm a big fan of Mariam Bukhar Hassan. She has such a charisma and great voice. And this is very inspiring to see someone like her shine all around the world and being given a real job, a real responsibility, you know? But this is one among thousands. So I love what she does. I'm so supportive of her. She really has that charisma, and I do believe, like she says, that words have the power to influence people and to bring peace. But you can't expect for people to do that for free all their lives. It's time for recognition. It's time to give people a job, mostly people who risk it all for you. This has consequences, of course. You know, I was mandated by Pachamama. I went to the most sacred places all around the world, and I came here with this vision to bring this holistic medicine, this art into a society that truly needs it. And the consequences of ignoring it, of looking the other way, of letting me grind and making it difficult when it could have been simple, of elders hanging on to their seat when they could hand it out to young families who need it. You know, why is America making the way difficult when it could be easy and have happy people? They prefer to cut jobs and have 3,000 high-level UN officials in the streets. It's okay for people to have a good life. It's okay to be happy to go to work, to have an easy, not saying they have an easy job, but they're criticizing that the UN officials, they're hanging out to their bureaucracy seats. Like, it's okay for people to have an easy or a comfortable job. Like, what do you want? You want just all people mining here, digging in the fucking dirt all day? This is the only way you're gonna get any money if you come to America? It's called quality of life, you know? And the consequences is that wars on the side, on one side, job cuts on the other side, and just like mean hate online. Elon Musk says that he fights for freedom of speech, but freedom of hate, like on X, it's so much hate. Hate. I'm sick of it. And you're trying to bring kindness, and they hear you're the clown. They're here like pushing you left and right and pretending they're gonna marry you and here distracting you, and like, why you do that? Why you do that? You're happy with your mom of your kids, even though we never see any pictures, we never see any display of love and stuff like that, then claim it. Stop playing with people's feelings and making them lose everything while they're actually trying to help the American people, giving everything. What do you want, America? What do you want? You want sad people grinding all day. My God, I'm grinding so much. FBI agent. On the field, you cannot stay in the building. Be out. Go. Run after a criminal. Go find, like, it's just, stop beating up people. Just because you're being beat up doesn't mean you're going to work better. Actually, when I was in Bahrain, I was 25 years old and I've never worked so well in my life. It was so nice. We were out partying with our co-workers all the time, going to eat together, celebrating each other, and The work was just creating events for people, having good times. People were coming, it was nice. Well, I was happy to go to work. I was happy. I was working all the time in the weekend. You know, so I'm trying to bring that culture to America, but for them, it's like, oh, you're trying to steal money. I'm not trying to steal money. I'm trying to create jobs. If you're saving on one side, but you're cutting jobs, you're creating more poverty. And on the other side, they're gonna give $8 billion for jet fighters to Israel. And then they're coming here for peace talks, and on the same night they attack the Russian residents. Like, do you really think that they care? It's a business. They're trafficking weapons, and they're all filling up their pockets, and then they're blaming it on the black sheep of the family, so their business can keep going. They're giving $2 billion to the United Nations, while they're giving $8 billion to Israel for war. They're giving $2 trillion on spending around the world. But then you're the cause of all the conflicts. Really? Okay, all right. I don't care, because I know that I've given everything, you know. And so the Ministry of Sound, so let me talk about, instead of complaining the whole time, because of course they want people who smile. Okay, stay in your lane and smile and never criticize anyone, because everybody's perfect here in this country. Actually, people are so broke. Out of all my neighborhood, beautiful houses, everybody has big houses and yards. Not a single person would take a cat, because they're too scared of the cost for a cat. You know, that's how broke people are. That's how selfish and scared of everything people are. My little kitties. So yeah, I did come here, America, to tell you that I love everything. America is one of the biggest polluters on the planet. But America is also where the decisions are made, and where all the geniuses and the big tech is. This is why I wanted to come here and influence it from the inside. I never lied about it. And Elon Musk is a great genius. I, developed this connection whatsoever, what it is. But I just don't appreciate the manipulations and pretending things and making me look stupid and losing my dignity. Believing that people have integrity, and it's just like, what, a marketing plan or whatever. That's just ridiculous. So yeah, I don't really appreciate you guys. Sorry that you think my message is gonna be like, oh, I love you all, America. No. Like you, it's payback time. It's time to make it up to me, or I'm leaving, and I'm not gonna regret, because I did everything that I could. I have this amazing project of creating a Ministry of Sound for the US government, that I asked Elon Musk to fund that. And that would be just amazing. That would be a science center on one side, with art and culture, with diplomacy, where people can unite. Kind of like the United Nations, but here in Florida, just to have people come and move here where the weather is nice, just to have this nice way of life. There would be a pet shelter, that would be our emotional support, break during the day. You go play with a dog, or you do something good, you go get a tattoo, just like culture, sociability and culture. I think this is really needed here in Florida. We have really nothing for culture, let me tell you. So yeah, I hope this gets approved. But once again, I don't want to spend my entire life waiting for a man to come and save me, even though I tried and tried and tried. And they lied and lied and lied. And they asked me to trust, to hand over my house, to quit my job. I trusted, I did everything they asked. I spent 3 years of my life building bridges with Russia. Then they got jealous that I was the only one they were listening to. Yeah, it's called respect, connection, loyalty, So then they call loyalty, they call it treason. But instead of, giving me the seat at the negotiation table, or doing the actual, giving away to the solution, they want to destroy the solution, because they want to be the solution. And not even that they're doing. It's crazy. Yes, so that's my life in America. I don't have no prepared speech, beautiful letters. My life is a mess because you made it a mess. I had everything, and I believed what Americans told me, and my biggest memory here is just like liars. I haven't found a single loyal person here, and this is why I don't fit. So the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations, unfortunately, it's all theory, everything. I think maybe 2 years ago was the right time to appoint me there. I had my book, all the network was hot, super excited to do this, to be participating. But then they just didn't, they didn't. So how am I gonna go and get the Alliance of Civilizations if I didn't ally anyone? I tried, I never give up. I gave it everything, to have your back, to try to bring funds, to ask those millionaires to contribute, to be a part. They wouldn't even buy a painting from me. How are they going to go and donate billions of dollars to the United Nations? All they care about is themselves. They don't care about polluting. They don't care about, Tony Robbins. They're here like, oh, we're giving $1 billion means to feeding America. Yeah, because you're sending people there. So you're trying to heal your consciousness. That you made everybody broke with your bullshit programs and telling people to risk it all for the bigger future that you never gave opportunities to anyone. And so yeah, they're giving billions of dollars to feeding America. I'm gonna be there too. Wait. So pathetic. Yes, I can't stand those fuckers, guys. Freaking hate them. So that's it. So the Alliance of Civilizations, to be honest, if I'm giving a chance, I will start over with new people. I don't want to have anything to do with them. I am not grateful. I'm not, I even, want to rewrite my book. I don't even want a Nobel Prize for my book. I want to erase all of their fucking faces from my book if I ever get an award from it, because really, at the time, it was fun. But if I knew that in the end, they would let me down like a dog, they start, Dean start his inner circle, every time, like, oh, we're family. No, we're not family. Okay, your wife spends $20,000 on someone to order her freaking kitchen cabinet. Okay, you giving away cars, like you're buying cars, whatever. You're wasting, like one of your birthday party could solve my entire freaking debt. They don't care. They're here, they pretend to care. They pretend to be good people. They pretend to care. The reality of goodness is that they don't care. They just want to give you lessons. They want to feel fulfilled, that their journey, is an inspiration to others, but it's not. Because you're trying to have people have the exact same journey as you. You think it's inspirational that you had to take on like 7 different credit cards when you were broke. I did the same thing. You think it's inspirational that you worked in a garage shop. I did the same. I traded my cars to survive. You think it's inspirational that your grandma lost her house and that you had to go back and buy it back 20 years later, and they're glad that I'm doing the same thing. I had to lose my house. You're stupid. If you're really making an impact in people's life, you shortcut that success. You're not trying to have them have the exact same journey as you. You're shortcutting them straight to their success. It's miserable. Yes. So, oh my God, if I knew, guys, that they were going to let me down like this, I would have never trusted them, never even listened to them. I was already a strong woman with persistence. I traveled all around my Like, man can't even take a flight without his wife behind him telling him what to do. Like, I went 25 years old. I was all around the world on my own, moving to Peru, getting a work visa, finding a job, exploring the Amazonian rainforest on my own. I worked in Peru. I went to Bahrain. I found the best job I've ever found. You know? Then I came to America, where everybody thinks they're so much better than everybody else. Never given a chance. All the good stuff I brought, they took it, they used it, they made $1 million out of it. And then they were like, oh, cool, we contributed to her book. Now we're not going to publish it. Whatever. It's just, you know, is it really worth it? They're probably thinking, oh, but you know, she can go back to France, lose it all, be a loser for a year, but she's going to win the Nobel Prize. So all of this will be worth it. You know, then she's going to go forgive everything. I don't even want a Nobel Prize. With all that bullshit. What am I going to go tell people? Oh yeah, this is the book of all the people who betrayed me. They left me to rot. All the content that's in there, it's basically my content that they reused, and now I published it in my book, trying to empower them and claiming that it's their work. Could have done it alone. But anyways, you know, I can't spit on everything. Like, it did make me feel like I wasn't alone. But in fact, had I turned off my phone and lived my life around it, I would have made friends. I would have probably found, you know, a boyfriend. I would have probably spent more time with my son. Or find a better job. But I didn't want that. I wanted to be with high-level people. I wanted to be in politics. I wanted to be working at the United Nations. So I kept going in that direction. But sometimes you have to accept that you're losing. And even though you've been a good person, like a saint, literally all the way, then it happens to lose. You know, I'm not a dictator, so that's it. That's my message. So I'm ready to go back to France. Of course, I would like to be in America, so I could be close to my son. I could be with great people in the UN, but they already all think I'm a terrorist anyways, even though, you know, I almost prostituted myself to cover their jobs. I don't like to say that because I was really sincere, you know, with Elon Musk. I really believe what he was saying. I really believe that I did deserve some love, to love and be loved by genius, that we could create spaceships and stuff. But I'm just sick of it. This is all 2025. In 2026, I'm not bringing all this bullshit. They haven't showed up. If they wanted to show up, they would have. Yes, but I feel sorry for the people I let down, though. You know, I came here with the Pachamama and I told people, like, some people really believed in me, that I was, you know, going to be the change in this government of, like, really, really mean. Like, it's heartless. Heartless cutting job, heartless canceling people, heartless decisions, you know, on genocides and wars. Like, I really, really wanted to be that little diamond in the middle that came and just like switched their heart to do better. But I'm just tired of begging, you know, my dignity. I can't do this. 2026 is not going to be online anymore. I'm going to go with only what shows up in my real life, focusing. I already lost my dog, my son, my house. I have my 3 cats. I have to get rid of at least another 1 or 2 pets because I can only travel with 1 or 2. So, you know, really the sacrifice. But UNESCO, I'd love to work in UNESCO in Paris. Paris is beautiful. I feel like I will be back to where I was in Bahrain when I was a cultural director. I was working with the director and the educational director. I was a cultural director and there was an educational director, and we had the administrative side as well, and the director of the Alliance. We were working really, really, really well together as a team. It was amazing. We're organizing events, promoting artists. This was the best job of my life. So I'm actually looking forward to this. You see, maybe it would be good for me to Just move out of this country and start fresh. Leave all this decade behind. Yes, it's sad. It's sad. I just feel like wasting my time. Yes, but if he gets me a good job in Paris, woo, cool, Paris. You know, I can be quickly in the US, catch a flight to go see my son actually. You know, take like 2-3 days off and fly one day, spend 2 days with my son, come back. Or go to the south, go see my family, which they don't want me there either. So I'm not really excited to go back to the south. Like nobody waiting for me. Really, nobody cares about me. Like nobody, because I just left everything for this career. I wanted to make an impact in the world. With all the beautiful magic greatness I've seen around in Cambodia, the beautiful architecture, South America, the kindness, yes, they have beautiful sites and sacred sites, and Machu Picchu and Uxmal, Mexico, all the Yucatan and stuff like that. But mostly it's the kindness. In South America, I was never a foreigner. I was already home. People welcomed me and never spent a Christmas alone. I always had invitations. The work was easy. I traveled a lot. I was a good person, you know, really good person. So then you come to America, they think they've been told so many times, they've been told that they're the best thing out there. There's nothing better than America. So they believe it. So everything that's foreign to America, they hate it. You know, you look online, people like, go back to your country, we hate you, we don't care. Man, imagine how people talk to each other. Go back to your country, we don't care. Criminals, they don't even, oh my God, illiterate people. But, you know, it's just cultural. I don't think I would ever be able to adjust to the American culture. I wanted to teach people of what's possible, of what else there is in the world. But you can't teach people you don't know what you don't know. That's the thing. You don't know what you don't know. They know what Elon Musk tells them on X, and then whatever he tells them to think, they're gonna think that. Super intelligence. Yeah. So, but taking a trip out there in the jungle or spending a year in a foreign country to understand the culture and see the kindness of people, they will never do that. They're too scared. They're scared to be robbed. I understand, because they think they're all criminals. It's sad. So yes, I think Paris will be nice. So I hope to get this job at UNESCO. My application, of course, there is a typo in the link I sent, so I hope they're still gonna see this video. But start in Europe with healthy people. I will bring this mindset of America. What I love about America, there's not only negative things, but what I love about America is the mindset of keep going, you know, like everything is possible. Don't underestimate your dreams because you think they're unattainable. You know, the examples of Elon Musk, who like, this is the most inspirational example actually, when you see how many times he failed his rocket launches and he got bankrupt, but yet now he's the most successful man in the world. He has all his companies are super successful. He's the richest guy, super smart. Everybody wants him. You know, that's inspirational. But once again, that's 1 in 8 billion. You know, it's like 1% of people. So this is why these people, this 1%, this 10%, this is why I've been working with them, especially, well, first because you don't get there by chance, okay? Most people, they get there because they're really intelligent and they have the right mindset. I mean, I wouldn't say the right mindset, because most of people who get there, how did they get there? By stepping on other people and crushing people. So I don't like that. But you still have some kind of super high intelligence, you know, to be able to master those businesses and stuff. So I wanted to be among super intelligent people, so I could become super intelligent as well, improve myself all the time. But mostly, I'm a middle class, you know, I've always seen my parents grind for money, so I understand why we want your money, you know, and it's not just for the money, it's just for equality, it's just justice. So I work with them, and I'm trying to make them see the work of humanitarians. I'm trying to make them see the importance of art and investing into that so it can continue. Because like, I see people like the Kardashians, they will never lose everything. They will all, now that their whole entire 3 next generations, maybe more, will never have to worry about money. So they, even if their house would burn down, they lost everything, they would never lose everything. So they don't understand what it could be, you know, to have nothing. But still they're completely able to say they care and be, you know, connected with you for years, and then watch you grind and say bye, like, we don't care. This is what I want to change. This is not normal. Like, this is psychopathy. I could never, even when I had like only $1,000 left in my account and I quit my job and I was freaking paralyzed, terrified, I still sent $100 to guys in Gaza because his daughter was sick. I could never sleep my life knowing that I have all this money and not be giving to the United Nations or not be helping out people who suffer. I don't care if they're terrorists. I don't care if they're Palestinian or Israeli or whatever. I see the kids. His baby little kids is sick, has an eye infection. I'm sending them money. If they're stupid enough to go and give the money to terrorists and buy weapons, then their kids will die. Okay, but at least my consciousness, I send money to their kids. You know what I talked about? Gaza, my theory, you know, about the Nazis and stuff, that I had my theory that Netanyahu was the reincarnation of Hitler, that he was trying to pay back his debt to the Jews, and that he was punishing all the Nazis that are now the Palestinian, that they were all put in this little tiny land of Palestine, that they are the reincarnation of the Nazis, and now they're being slaughtered just like they slaughtered the Jews in World War II. When you look at the date, it's completely possible. Okay, but even with that theory, even should that be true, this is not our role to say, oh, well, they can all die then, it's okay to kill them all. No, we're also being tested. Okay, this is their story. Our story is, are we just going to sit there while people are being slaughtered, kids, in front of our eyes, and think it's completely normal? That is your karma. Okay, so don't make the mistake. So, and the only reason why we don't know, even if you have flash, if you're a seer or you have information, you never be sure. And why? Because they want you to have your own free will in how you treat other people. That's why we don't remember all our past lives, or when you remember your past lives, you never know which character you were or what side of the story you were on. And there is always, every time I remember a past life, there is always an element of confusion. Every time. That I'm like, which one was I in that situation? Or are they giving me another perception? Every time. Why? Because if you knew the exact details of the past life, we would be straight assholes to each other. We would be like, oh, you did this in my past life. Like, yeah, you can die now. You know? So it's about, you have details of a story, but who are you going to be anyways? Who are you going to choose to be in that life? To be the better person. Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like I was really lucky. I was given everything. And I slowly lost it all. So I don't know if it's the future holds something good for me, better, probably, or if it's a punishment from a past life, but in this life, I feel like I've been a really good girl. I've never betrayed anyone. I've never preached for wars. I did say I'm grateful for Russian loyalty because they took my defense and they went on war against censorship, even though that was not the beginning of the war. But I did have a vision that there was human trafficking in Ukraine. I posted that, and after that, they started the war and they did find human trafficking. It started like that. And then I was like, oh my God. And I tried to get involved with it, to trying to pace and mediate. And this is how it just like kept going. I never preached for the war. I always preached for peace. And however, when someone comes to your defense and see the injustice, I'm grateful. That's it. And I'm sorry. I'm not at all supporting the process of killing people at all. This has to stop. That's why I also support Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin signing the peace process. But what I feel is really sad is that people know there is a solution, but they prefer to ignore it and blame it, you know? And Kamala Harris, traitor. Kamala Harris, she's a traitor. Like, I supported her and Joe Biden the entire mandate. And I told her, you want to win the election, choose Tony Robbins. If Tony Robbins is going to be your VP, you're going to win the elections. Then we can work together, because Tony Robbins, as much as I dislike them now, they're completely against corruptions. They are kind of good people, really thinking they're trying to help people, and they don't tolerate corruption, you know? So having Tony Robbins in the government, that would have helped against the corruption. That would have helped like bring a lot of voters. But they preferred to go with this crook of Tim Walz, who's signing illegal fraud and stuff to, you know, this low level. So once again, they ignored me, and like, look where we are. They're cutting. They're sending out all the immigrants, even the good ones. They're cutting jobs. The wars are worse than anywhere. The budgets on weapons is the worst it's ever been. All this time I was there telling them what to do. Nobody listened. You know, like Pachamama, when there is a, people are mad at Mother Nature when there is a tsunami, when there is an earthquake. You know, it's just nature gives us everything. And I came here with the voice of Pachamama, but they just saw, oh no, she's nothing. But there is always someone watching. Your behavior, the way you treat the people that are coming with sacred missions, there's always someone watching. It has repercussions. So anyways, so over. I wish you guys the best. I don't wish wrong on anyone. I wish myself the best. I hope that there is a miracle that's gonna come and grab me before I leave America. So all the stuff I worked on, all my peace plan, my environmental plan, my spaceships, my book, my trainings, my art collection, can still, you know, all these seeds I planted, I wish I could see them bloom. I wish I could see my son grow and be here to stay close to him. But, you know, you can't just grip on people. If they don't want you, you have to let them be free and go and move on. So that's the elections, you know. So that's it. Guys, that was my rant for what my decade of disrespect in America. And trust that it's not just me. It's a lot of people that are really in distress, and you don't see them because online you only see the beautiful, rich and famous, and the immigrants, you only see the frauds online. They're publishing their profile, but the good ones, they're hiding. They don't want to have their pictures out there. They don't want to show their story because they're scared, you know? So the moms, the artists, we had a huge gallery. You know how many artists there are in Florida? So many. Oh my God. when we had the Artisan Shop gallery, there were like 100 artists, beautiful art from so many people. It was beautiful, it was great. I was in this gallery every day, it was so beautiful. I was meeting artists, we were doing interviews, that was great. But it was just a short-term project and it lasted a year and then they closed it, which means that all these artists will never make a career out of it. Now they're spread out in Florida, we never see them again. That's a shame, because when you're walking in the streets and there is art, beautiful architectures, or you go to a mall, there is art and stuff, it's nice. If it's just concrete and machines, it's, depression, no culture. So yeah, that's my journey, guys, but I'm still so grateful. I'm grateful to those who really trusted me and gave me a chance, gave me a voice. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. I wish you the best. I'm talking like FBI agent that are like hanging in there. Or like teachers raising your kids while being insulted by parents, insulted online, insulted by the kids, and waking up every day to raise your kids. And so much injustice in this world, and it would be so easy to fix it, but I think it's good. There is a really big war on terrorism right now, which I think is good in the Middle East, that they're cleaning up. That's a good point. I think it's good that Donald Trump and Netanyahu are fighting against the expansion of nuclear weapons in the Middle East. That's part of the plan, the peace plan. I just think it's not correct to, it's crime, it's criminal to kill all the kids. You need to give them a chance to educate themselves and do better. And yes, I'm grateful for all the United Nations social media team, communication team that shared the beautiful visuals, that spoke up for me, These are made my day so many times. I'm grateful for Ellen DeGeneres, because when everything went down, she made me laugh. Laugh is the best medicine, I'm grateful to those who laughed at my bad humor. It was like bad humor, guys, okay? Sarcasm. People, they don't like it here, I know. But like the other day, I'm texting a friend. I'm texting a mom of one of Esteban's best friends. And I'm like, oh my God, I just thought of you guys. You don't have any pets. Please take one of my cats. She's so nice. I'm moving out of the country. I really need to find a good family for her. Can you please take my cat? I beg you, and stuff. So she replies to me. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, John, her husband. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, John is allergic to cats. That's why we don't have pets. And I answer, I'm like, okay, well, just get rid of John then. That was a good joke. Oh my God, she answered to me like so cold, like, we wish you the best. Okay, I was like, all right, guys, don't laugh at my jokes. It's okay. No problem. But yeah, guys, that's just, so sick of it. Thank God this is over. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. This shit is fucking over. Thank you. I can't fucking stand those Americans. Guys, that was horrible. The worst 10 years of my life. I'm so grateful to myself. So grateful to myself for manifesting this home for my son. I manifested this. I fought for it. During my divorce, my husband, he wanted to sell it. He wanted to send me back to France with my kid. He didn't even want the kid because my son was a big tantrum baby at 2 years old. He wanted to send me and the kid back to France, sell the house, live his life, fucking girls around. He was always out, fucking girls and stuff. But when I, took my revenge on life, then I was the big scandal. That's not how we started. But whatever, you can believe whatever you want. My consciousness, I'm clear with my own. I manifested this house. Thank God. The military provided for us. Thank God I was able to have him provide for the first 10 years of my son's life. Thank God I was able to find a job in a school so I could spend as much time as possible with my son. Thank God his future is guaranteed. He will never have to struggle. He will always have a roof. He will also have a place, you know, for himself. He will never have to struggle like we did. He will be able to have the career that he wants, or create a business, or do what he loves. You know, he will never be homeless. So thank God I did this. Thank God for all my 20s, my travels in my 20s, my beautiful career that I started. Thank you for having a beautiful, healthy child, all the memories that we had in this house. Thank you to me for rescuing all these pets that need me. Thank you to me for rescuing all these single moms and their kids that came in to trash my house and never help anything. That was so good. Thank you. Thank you, me. Thank you, me. And thank you, me, for such resilience and supporting people who ignored me, who manipulated me, who lied to me, and writing all the best, most beautiful thing about them until the end, when I realized that they really didn't give a crap about me. Thank you for being who I am, for caring about people. Thank you for those who saw the truth in me, who supported me till the very end. Thank you to me for speaking up for immigrants, who, not the criminals, but the good people who deserve a chance. Thank you to Joe Biden for helping. You know, Joe Biden, he was not a bad person. He was too kind. He got taken advantage of by a lot of people. He gave a lot of money to a lot of people. They didn't screen who they were letting in. You know, they were too nice. That's the problem. They got taken advantage of. They run the country. They help all these immigrants, and now people like me losing our home because of taxes, because of interest rates. So the economy, but under Joe Biden, they created jobs though. I got my job under Joe Biden. Thanks to Joe Biden, I got my job. Now they don't hire anymore at the school because they're cutting budgets, they're cutting funds. The United Nations, 3,000 people gonna be in the streets. They're cutting jobs. They think they're paying back the debt when actually it's just a number on the computer. They could cancel that debt just by hacking the main computer system. This is just all the money, currency is just computers, you know? It's just computers. So the United States of America doesn't owe. They say we have $1 trillion debt. To who? To who? The United States of America doesn't borrow money from anyone. Okay, maybe Ukraine borrowed money from America. Some people borrowed money from America. America does not borrow money from anyone. So they say we have debt. To who? It's like I'm taking $100 from my wallet, okay, to give it to myself to go buy food, and then I'm like, oh my God, I owe myself $100. I'm in debt. This is bullshit. The capitalist system is just meant to keep us enslaved, okay? And the system making you believe that you're happy to get a loan, a 17% loan for your car that I pay $560 a month for my car, which $200 of it goes to my principal, $300 of it goes to interest rate. So even though I almost technically paid off all my car, $20,000, I actually paid nothing on my car. I paid $5,000 on my car. And same to our house. Even though we've been paying for this house for 8 years now, $3,000 a month, we got nothing paid off. We owe more to the house than when we bought it. We bought it for $350 and now we owe $450. I mean, not me, because that's him now. I gave away my house. So, so lame. But yes, so, you know, they're cutting budget to pay themselves off to themselves, basically. I'm not an economist, excuse me, but to who do we owe money? To banks? They're printing money. Banks, it's the computer. They can just put zero everyone out. There's no more debt, no more interest rate. People can just, borrow to buy their house, and they're actually paying off their house, not the bank. I agree that you got to pay a little bit of interest. If the bank gives you, 300,000, it's normal that you pay a little more to pay them, but not 3 times the price of the house. Kidding me? If I'm borrowing $350 from the bank, it would be decent that I pay them back, let's say $500. Okay? So you're making $150,000 out of the deal, not bad. And I'm paying it off in 10 years or in 15 years. But no, they're giving you a 30 years loan. So now the house that we bought for $350, we will pay it over 30 years. We'll pay it more than $1 million, 3 times the price of the house. But I'm ready to do it because I don't care about my life. I don't care about my ex-husband's life. I care that the next generation is gonna have a house, a castle. Okay? Because my best friend, her grandmother gave her an apartment when she was younger. She bought an apartment for every single one of the siblings. They're all filthy rich. Why? Because they never had to worry about rent. They always had an income. Either they would rent it and have an income, or they would live in their apartment. So all their job, their money from their work would be in their pocket. They were able to reinvest it into their business. It doesn't take much to start in life with an advantage, and it's housing. So if you're a parent, the best advice I can give you is that if you're having kids, you're living them a better life than yours. You're not trying to repeat the same pattern in your life. You're trying to shortcut their success. You're giving them a home, a roof. You owe them. Okay? They didn't ask to be born. So if you're having kids, you owe them a better life. You give them something. You're not going to make them grind. What is this? Oh, you come to earth to grind your life out, to suffer, and one more lesson. That is not my mentality. Like, I'm coming to the world to enjoy the beauty of the world, have a beautiful family, be happy, and do exciting projects. That doesn't mean that I'm going to die working. I'm going to hire more people so we can work as a team, and we all do as much as we can, and work hard all together, but decently, not like crazy dying for work. So then work become pleasure, and you're happy to go to work, and you have time to socialize with your coworker. Like the school where I worked, there's no sociability whatsoever. We don't even have time to talk to each other. Never do something outside of our working hours, or just like kind of because we like kind of have to. But there's no real some of them would, I think I see them. But yes, that's not the life I envisioned. That's it. So that's it. So you want to know about my projects for the Ministry of Sound, or UNESCO, or United Nations Alliance of Civilizations. I posted everything already. Of course, it's nice, like I said, when you have a stage and you're shiny and you're preparing and you're learning your speech. I would love that. I've been asking for that for 5 years. Nobody gave it to me, so all you get is the rant. Now I'm pissed off. I don't like you guys, and that's it. That's why. All right. Yeah, have a happy 2026.